Okay, I know this was in the calculator video, but once again, just to reiterate, make sure you are in the correct mode, and right now we're only in degrees. So this is the example that we did on the calculator, and so ultimately it doesn't really matter which one you solve for first, but you know, I have a tendency to just identify the angle. So I got 41. So based on what I have an adjacent side, which is right here. So this is the adjacent, and this is the opposite, right? Because it's cross. And this guy right here is my hypotenuse, okay? And so now I'm going to go ahead and set up my trig ratios. I need to find y and x. So if I wanted to find y, what I did in the calculator is I said, okay, I know sine of the angle. So this guy is theta, and this little zero with a little looks like a little curly Q at the top is just a variable for the angle, just like x is a variable for a number, is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. Okay, and I'm going to reiterate, this guy right here is theta, and it's a variable for an angle. Well, we know that theta, or the angle measurement, is 41 degrees. I know the opposite side is y, and the hypotenuse is 12.1. So I know this is over 1, so if I cross multiply, I get y is equal to 12.1 times sine of 41 degrees. And we did this on our calculator, and I said to approximate to the nearest tenth, and we got 7.9. So y is equal to 7.9. Okay, so that's good. Now that I know that this side length is 7.9, I have multiple things that I can do here. I have a right triangle. I could use Pythagorean theorem if I wanted to, but that should be easy for us. Let's get some practice with some angle measurements. So what I like to do is I like to make sure that I use the given information. So I'm going to use these guys again, because if I made a mistake here, then I at least get one out of the two right if I don't make a mistake for the second one. That's just personal preference. So x, let's find side x. So this one was for y, and this one will be for x. Well, if I'm using the 41 degrees, I have an adjacent side over hypotenuse. So I have to understand that, okay, well, that's cosine. Cosine of an angle is going to equal the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. So let's plug in the information. I know the angle is 41 degrees. I know the adjacent side is my variable, which is x. 12.1 is the hypotenuse. And I'm going to go ahead, and this is over 1, so I'm going to go ahead and cross multiply, and I will get x is equal to 12.1 times cosine of 41 degrees, and that's going to give me approximately 9.2. Okay, and that's how I'm going to set up, and you're going to use your calculator for that. There are certain things we're going to do without a calculator, but we haven't gotten to that point yet. We need to have a good understanding of the fundamentals before we start doing the stuff without a calculator. There's special angles that we talked about, that we'll talk about. So, but this is how we can use our calculator and find missing information in a right triangle using SOHCAHTOA.